Welcome to Quizzical Nature Trivia, where trivia is everything and everything is trivia. My name is Brian, and I am joined, as I am every week, by my co-host Corey. This week's theme is America.
We will be going over topics, everything American-related, such as pastimes, some sports, music, history, geography, all, like I said, American-related.
As we do every week, we will start with a trivia contest between our hosts. As Corey won champion last time.
Yes, thank you. I am the champ.
He is the champ. We will restart and have a new battle to 50 to see who will be the next champion.
We will then follow up with questions from our listeners, and then go into our guest segment, which we have the lovely Tom on this week.
And lastly, we'll answer your question from last week and give you a new final question.
All right. I'll just kick it off with the question between your hosts. All right. Heading right into our little rat-tat-tat portion between the hosts. Once again, a little reminder, we give 5 questions in subjects we're strong in, and 5 questions we know we're not strong in. Strength categories being worth 5 points, and weakness categories being worth 10. Let's go ahead and kick off with Brian's 5-point lyrics question. In 1971, number 1 hit American Pie by Don McLean. According to the lyrics, who are the 3 men he admired most and caught the last train for the coast the day the music died?
That would be the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost.
Good job. Yeah, so Don McLean had stated the song primarily revolves around the deaths of Buddy Holly, Ritchie Valens, and the Big Bopper, but also represents the turn of innocence in the 50s to the volatile 60s.
Well, if we're going to do classic rock, I'll stick with a classic rock American Pie question.
All right.
In the song American Pie, Don McLean mentions church bells making no sound. Why did they not make a sound?
Church bells all were broken.
The church bells all were broken. They
Yeah.
were broken. The song is the 4th longest song to hit number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100, and at the time was the longest.
That's a really good fact.
It is 8 minutes long.
That's a really good one.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I will jump into a 10-point question for you. Sports. North America's oldest sport is lacrosse and is the fastest growing sport in North America. How many players are on the field for one team while at full strength? A little fun fact for you. In 1867, the first written rules were put in place, and the deerskin ball filled with hair was replaced with a more modern solid rubber ball.
I am going to go with 9.
So close. It is 10.
Ooh, it is 10.
You get 3 attackmen, 3 middies, 3 defense, and 1 goalie.
I knew it was 3 defense. I didn't know how many middies or attackmen.
Yes.
So I had 4, and then I just assumed 5
Yeah.
on the other side.
Close.
Okay. Huh. That was good. We'll move on to Corey's 10-point question in history. In what year did the Boston Tea Party take place? So, fun fact, the Boston Tea Party was a protest by the Sons of Liberty, who had many famous members, such as Benedict Arnold, John Hancock, Patrick Henry, and Paul Revere.
1767?
1773.
77, okay.
1773.
Gotcha. That's a good one. All right, I'll go back to a 5-pointer for you. The American Wrestling Association, or AWA, was founded in 1960 and headquartered in what city?
The AWA.
Yeah. While you think about that one. Vern Gagne and Wally Carbo founded the AWA after the territory was previously a part of the National Wrestling Association, or NWA.
So the AWA, if it was founded by Vern Gagne,
And Wally Carbo.
was probably in the Midwest, specifically in Minnesota. I don't know the city, but I'm going to go with St. Paul.
Very, very close. The other twin city.
Is Minneapolis?
Minneapolis.
Mm-hmm. So we'll move on to your science question here.
Science.
It is going to be an element, state, both, or neither question. So I will give Corey 2 letters, and he will have to discover or tell me if it is an element, symbol on the periodic table, a U.S. state postal code, both, or neither. And the 2 letters are T-S. T as in team, S as in sport. TS.
I believe that is just an element.
It is just an element. Tennessine is the element. Tennessee was named for the element, but has TN for its postal abbreviation, not TS.
Yes. All right. Let's jump back into another 10-pointer for you. Art, and specifically art history. Which famous American artist popularized drip or pour painting in the mid-20th century?
I'm going to go with Andy Warhol.
Incorrect. Jackson Pollock.
Mm.
Jackson Pollock was a major figure in the abstract expressionist movement and used his work to express himself while battling poverty, depression, and alcoholism. The alcoholism proved to be his death, as it was a result of a single car accident that killed him. Sadly enough.
Sadly. Very sad. We'll go to Corey's next 10-point question under geography. Which capital city is farther north? Frankfort, Kentucky, or Salt Lake City, Utah? So I will, in this question, I gave him two capitals. He will have to tell me which is farther north. We go by degrees north.
I'm going to say Frankfurt.
It is Frankfurt. 38 degrees north to 40 degrees north.
Well, that was 50-50 shot.
Yeah. Fun fact, Salt Lake City is the home of the first Kentucky Fried Chicken.
That's ironic.
Yeah. Harland Colonel Sanders' original restaurant in North Corbin, Kentucky was called Sanders Court and Cafe. And in 1952, Sanders franchised his chicken recipe to his Utah-based friend Pete Harmon. Harmon changed his own restaurant from Harmon Cafe to Kentucky Fried Chicken after people lined up down the street to order his new southern menu.
I can believe it. All right. Let's go to a 5-point NBA question for you. The NBA began in 1946 under what other name for 3 years until 1949 when it merged with the National Basketball League? So, while Brian thinks of that one, from 1955 to 1961, the NBA played with only 8 teams until the Chicago Packers, yuck. Now, the Washington Wizards joined the league, but are not considered the league's first expansion team as they didn't hold an official expansion draft. The title of first expansion team belongs to the 1966 Chicago Bulls.
I have no idea.
The BAA, the Basketball Association of America.
That is a great question. I'll go to a sports question as well. Being America's pastime, it makes sense that the U.S. has won the most titles in the Little League World Series. However, because of how the tournament works, those titles are split up amongst the states that the winning team represents. The question is, who has more title wins? One state or one country?
I'm going to go ahead and I want to say one state.
It is one country.
Okay. I didn't know if the
Taiwan has 17.
Okay.
California has the most has the most, and they have 7.
That's good because I would have said Pennsylvania.
The United States collectively as a country has won more plurality of the series. Although from 1969 to 1991, teams from Taiwan have dominated the series, winning 15 out of those 23 years.
That's pretty good.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, I wanted to lean with the Pan-Asian team, but I knew that wasn't one country, so. All right. Move on to a 10-point history question for you. Who was the British monarch ruling over the colonies at the time of the American Revolution? This monarch was a king of 3 separate empires at one given time, and was the 3rd longest living monarch in British history.
I believe that it is King George.
More specifically, please, because there's a lot.
King George the 5th?
Incorrect. It is the tyrant King George III.
Oh, dang.
Yes, he was also king of Hanover and king of Ireland, as well as...
I'll be honest, I'm
King of
impressed I
England.
got King George.
Yeah.
Part of me was singing the Pocahontas thing, and my good friend King Jimmy would probably build me a shrine. That is not it.
No, it is not.
We'll move on to Corey's 10-point question under science.
Science.
Instead of doing an element stated both or neither, I'm going to do a symbol postal both or neither, which I'm going to include the U.S. territories in, because they also have postal codes. So it is a symbol, postal, both or neither. Same rules apply. We'll give you 2 letters.
Is this state included or no?
States are included.
Okay.
The 2 letters are F, M.
I don't think
F
it's...
as in female, M as in
I
male.
don't think it's French Montana. I want to say just a territory.
It is both.
Oh, okay.
It is Micronesia and Fermium.
Oh, yeah.
Micronesia's full name is Federal States of Micronesia because it is made up of 4 islands,
Mm-hmm.
which is why it is FM.
It's a good one.
Thank you. Not as good as French Montana, but it's pretty good.
What do you do? All right, let's go to a 5-point video games question for you. In 1961, which college developed the first widespread computer game, Space War? That's with an exclamation point.
Which college?
Yes. A little fun fact for you. In late 1961, Space War's popularity grew to the West Coast after one of the original programmers took a job at the Stanford Artificial Intelligence Laboratory, making it the first nationwide computer game.
I'm going to go with Yale.
The right region, but it is MIT.
That was my first guess, and if you didn't tell me that fun fact, I probably would have guessed MIT.
Yeah, one of the developers who worked in the laboratory in MIT then took the job at Stanford and spread it coast to coast.
All right, we'll go to Corey's television show 5-point question. On the show Parks and Recreation, Andy Dwyer creates many band names, including one that is a parody of what federal agency that was created after 9/11 to manage emergency services?
FEMA.
No. It is the Department of Homeland Security.
Mm.
The name is the Department of Homeland Obscurity.
Ah.
Other names that Andy creates include Just the Tip,
Yeah.
Muscle Confusion, Nothing Rhymes with Orange, and Everything Rhymes with Orange.
Yeah, as well as the Beatles. He didn't know that the Beatles existed,
And
but he did it as 2 E's, like the animal. He
Fleetwood
also
Mac
did,
Sex Pants.
No, he claims that one.
And Pork Skin.
Yes. He also does Rat Mouse. That's
Rat
the
Mouse.
best one.
Mouse Rat. Rouse Trap.
Yeah, the list goes on.
Yep.
All right, a 10-point geography question for you. What is the longest river in the U.S.? And this river drains nearly 1/6 of all of the North American continent.
I mean, I think it's the Mississippi.
Is that your guess?
Yes.
That is incorrect.
It's Colorado?
It is also incorrect. The Missouri.
The
Missouri River.
Did not know that.
Yeah.
That wasn't even my second guess. So we'll go to Corey's 10-point question under landmarks. You would be in which state if you were at Chimney Rock?
West Virginia?
North Carolina.
North Carolina, okay.
Is in Asheville, North Carolina.
Mm.
Chimney Rock is a 535 million year old, 315 foot tall monolith, which is 2,280 feet above sea level.
All right, let's go on to the 5-point superheroes question for you. In March of 1941, we were introduced